Hello friends, welcome back to AIAPGET 2020 video mock test series by Friend of Health. So today in this 6th episode, we are going to see relationship of medicines. So 10 questions from relationship of medicines. So in this episode, 10 new questions from ALLEN'S KEYNOTES relationship section are going to be discussed. So these are new questions which are made by us. But they are already appeared in previous examinations like UPSC, AIAPGET or previous state MD entrance examinations of various universities, but with different options or different way. But these are very important areas. But our aim through this episode is to make you familiarize with the pattern of questions from the relationship section of ALLEN'S Keynote. And this video will be a revision for those students who are preparing for UPSC and AIAPGET this year, and for the interns or students who are still studying undergraduation. For them, they will come to know how to approach ALLEN'S Keynote relationship section for a MCQ pattern exam, that is AIAPGET, UPSC or state PSC examinations. And try to answer the questions in comment box or in a paper so that you can make the maximum benefit from the mock test series. Other related and previous questions also will be discussed in this video, so you go through the answer key session also. So watch this video fully, and if you have missed the previous 5 episodes, you can watch them from the playlist, and they will be giving you a lot of very important questions for AIAPGET or UPSC preparation. And this mock test series is designed in such a way that with a screen which you are going to face for 2 hours time, that is 120 minutes time on the day of examination is in front of you, so you will be more relaxed while seeing that screen that day if you have watched all the video mock test series episodes and the upcoming episodes. So we'll go to the mock test series. First question: isomorphic medicine of phosphorus, hepasulf, lycopodium, allium cepa, arsenicum album. Second question: Flouricum acidum follows well after which medicine in goitre? Iodum, calcarea floor, calcarea carb, spongia. So we'll move on to the next question. The burning feet of sulphur and restless fidgety legs and feet of Zincum are both found at the same time in phosphorus, agaricus, medorinum, syphilinum. Next question: follows Psorinum as a constitutional remedy in hay fever, asthma? Allium cepa, Malaria officinalis, Natrium mur, tuberculinum. Next question: after arnica in traumatic affections of ovaries, Thuja, calcarea carb, Psorinum epis. Next question: for bad effects of vaccination when Thuja fails and Silicea is not indicated? Sulphur, Antimonium crudum, Antimonium tartaricum, Mesotherium. Next question: follows well after opium in bad effects of fright? Aconitum napillus, Ignatia amara, Sambucus nigra, phosphorus. Ailments from abuse of metals generally: petroleum, hepasulf, sulphur, Zincum. Next question: probably no remedy in the Materia Medica presents a more valuable pathogenesis in symptoms of the throat, or one that will better repay a careful study? Lachesis, baryta carb, diphtherinum, lac caninum. So the last question: this medicine follows Cuprum metallicum well in whooping cough and cholera? Camphora, Arsalb, Drosera, Veratrum album. So after clicking the save and next button, you can see the changes happening in the question answer palette. So all the questions are visited, 10 questions, 10 are answered, and you can see 10 are answered here. So the timer is almost exhausted. So when you submit, you can go, you can finish the exam, and we'll see the answer key straight away. So the first question was isomorphic medicine of phosphorus. So this every questions we have taken from the relationship part. Many a times when you read the ALLEN'S keynote, we skip the relationship part or we don't give enough importance for the relationship part. So the only way to know how to study relationship part is by getting familiarized with the previous questions or the pattern of questions which will appear from the relationship part. So here the answer is arsenicum album. So if you see the ALLEN'S keynote, you can see one line, arsenicum complementary relationship of phosphorus. If you see, complementary is arsenicum and with which it is isomorphic. So we have seen allium cepa in the option, but here you can see allium cepa, it's vegetable analog. So if the question is vegetable analog of phosphorus, the answer will be allium cepa, and isomorphic medicine of phosphorus is arsenicum. And many important or interesting facts are there in the relationship part, in the modality part of every drug in ALLEN'S keynotes. So you need to study, you need to go to some MCQs, come back to the textbook. Again, you have to make your own questions, you have to frame your own questions. That is the only way you can study, and you have to revise a lot of times the ALLEN'S keynotes. Then only you can conquer it. So here the answer, phosphorus, isomorphic medicine of phosphorus is arsenicum album. So the next question was, Flouricum acidum follows well after which medicine in goitre? So relationship of Flouricum acidum is very, very important. You can see the answer is spongia. And if you see the relationship part of Flouricum acidum, every line is important. So complementary medicines are coca and silica or Silicea, and follows well. This is very, very important. Flouric acid follows well after Rs in ascites of drunkards. So flouric acid follows Rs in ascites of drunkards. And again, flouric acid follows after calicab in hip diseases, and after cophia and staphysagria in sensitive teeth. So in sensitive teeth, flouric acid follows after cophia and staphy well, and after phosphoric acid in diabetes, and after Silicea and symphytum in bone diseases. And here comes our question, after spongia in goitre. So the question was, Flouricum acidum follows well after which medicine goitre? So spongia. So here you can see flouric acid follows well after spongia in goitre. So these kind of very small lines or small letters can be framed as questions. So again, flouric acid, tabacum, all these relationships are very, very important. Many a times questions have repeatedly appeared, so you need to be very, very careful while studying these, and you have to do a lot of revision. You have to make your own notes, your own questions you have to frame, and you have to study. Sometimes it can come in, match the following, etc. So you have to revise these areas. The third question was, the burning feet of sulphur and restless fidgety legs and feet of Zincum met are both found at the same time in. So this is about medorinum. If you see medorinum relationship, you can see the burning feet of sulphur and restless fidgety legs and feet of Zincum are both found at the same time in medorinum. So the same line, exact line is made as a question. So there will be some lines in the end of the relationship part, in between the relationship part, very small lines, very single line like symptoms, etc. So this you should give enough importance. And a very repeatedly asked question you can see in the modality part, aggravation when thinking of the complaint, thinking of it. So helonius, oxalic acid, medorinum, and amelioration when thinking. These things you have to study, compare and study, revise it. So everything, modality, relationship, every line of ALLEN'S keynote is important. You cannot skip any line, but practice will make you perfect. Don't worry, you can conquer ALLEN'S keynote if you do a lot of MCQs and come back to the text and related portions or the pattern. If you identify and study and make notes and revise it, you can easily study. The question was, burning feet of sulphur and restless fidgety legs and feet of Zincum are both found at the same time in medorinum. Next question, follows Psorinum as a constitutional remedy in hay fever, asthma. So here the options were allium cepa, malaria, natrum mur and tuberculinum. Answer is tuberculinum. If you see the relationship part of tuberculinum, you can see that follows Psorinum as a constitutional remedy in hay fever or asthma. So if you are trying to recollect the relationship part of Psorinum, you may not get it, but it is in the tuberculinum relationship part. So every time when you read one remedy here, you have to go back and see what is there in Psorinum hay fever symptoms. So then it will make you to memorize easily, and you will have an attachment with the question or with the point. So don't just by heart these, you go back and see what hay fever symptoms are there in the Psorinum drug. So that are the easy methods. So here you can see some other important or interesting facts in the tuberculinum relationship part. When Psorinum, sulphur or the best selected remedy fails to relieve or permanently improve. So again answer is tuberculinum. Follows Psorinum as a constitutional remedy in hay fever, asthma, tuberculinum. Belladonna for acute attacks, congestive or inflammatory occurring in tubercular diseases. So again this is an interesting line, and many a time this last line is appeared as a repeatedly appeared as a exam question. Hydrastis to fatten patients cured with tuberculinum. So which remedy to fatten patients who are cured with tuberculinum? Hydrastis is the answer. So our question was tuberculinum follows Psorinum as a constitutional remedy in hay fever and asthma. Okay. Next question, after arnica in traumatic affections of ovaries. So answer is Psorinum. So traumatic affections of ovaries. When you see ovaries, you cannot jump into some remedy which is having affection on ovaries. These will be confusing options. Like those who have not read the ALLEN'S Keynote thoroughly or not revised ALLEN'S Keynote thoroughly will get confused. But you should understand that they are asking questions from ALLEN'S Keynote line by line. Each line is important. Each word is important. So see the relationship part of Psorinum. You can understand arnica after arnica in traumatic affections of ovaries. So answer is Psorinum after arnica in traumatic affections of ovaries. So other important things like sulphur follows Psorinum well in mammary cancer. Then whether derived from purest gold or purest filth, our gratitude for its excellent service forbids us to inquire or care. P.B. Bell. A quote by P.B. Bell is also mentioned in the relationship part about Psorinum. So these are very important things. You have to just study then and there everything. When you go through one question, you have to study the full relationship part of that, and you have to relate and study. Any other quotes are given in ALLEN'S Keynote, you can group all of them together. Then you can keep on revising. Then you can study. For bad effects of vaccination, when Thuja fails and Silicea is not indicated. Sulphur, Antimonium crudum, Antimonium tartaricum, Meserrium. So here the answer is Antimonium tartaricum. So you may get confused with Meserrium as it is also having some symptoms from vaccination. So don't get confused. This exact line appears in Antimonium tartaricum relationship part. So if you see the relationship part of Antimonium tartaricum, it is very rich. A lot of points are coming here. So you can see for bad effects of vaccination when Thuja fails and Silicea is not indicated. You can see other symptoms like similar. This Antimonium tartaricum is similar to Lycopodium, but spasmodic motion of alle is replaced by dilated nostrils. To Veratrum, similar to Veratrum, both have diarrhea, colic, vomiting, coldness and craving for acid. To Ipecac, similar to Ipecac, but more drowsiness from defective respiration, nausea, but not ameliorated after vomiting. So such things are very important or very useful in clinical aspect, and as far as exam is concerned, this kind of lines which appears very benign will be very important. When lungs seem to fail, patient becomes sleepy, cough declines or ceases, it supplants Ipecac. So this kind of lines are important. Antimonium tartaricum. For bad effects of vaccination when Thuja fails and Silicea is not indicated. Children not easily impressed when Antim tart seems indicated in coughs require Hepar. So these kind of lines also are important. Then again, 7th question. Follows well after opium in bad effects of fright. So options were Aconite, Ignatius, Sambucus, Phosphor. All are close running options. If you know the line, it is very easy. Sambucus nigra. So after opium in bad effects of fright, follows well, remedy is Sambucus nigra. If you see the relationship part of Sambucus, you can see follows well after opium in bad effects of fright. 8th question. Ailments from abuse of metals generally. So the answer is sulphur. So here you can compare some remedies, like first line of relationship part of sulphur itself. You can see ailments from the abuse of metals generally. So here again, calcarea must not be used before sulphur. Sulphur is the chronic of aconite and follows it well in pneumonia and other acute diseases. All these interesting facts are there. If you see hepar sulph, you can see one symptom like bad hepar antidotes, bad effects of mercury and other metals. So in sulphur we have seen abuse of metals generally, ailments from abuse of metals generally, and here you can see hepar antidotes, bad effects of mercury and other metals, iodine, iodide of potash, etc. So this kind of very close running remedies, symptoms will be there. You have to group them and study. Again, if you see petroleum, one of our best antidotes for lead poisoning, here lead poisoning, one of our best antidotes. So if you see calibrom, one of the antidotes for lead poisoning. So this line, exact line is given and the remedies are, close running remedies are given. You have to write the exact or most appropriate answer. You cannot guess and write. It is not about the usefulness of the remedy or the indication of the remedy. It is about the exam aspect. You have to write each single line. The line or the words are mattering there. So you have to be very careful while answering. Many more symptoms are there related to lead poisoning, lead colic, or antidotes of lead poisoning, etc. I have not included them. You have to find out and you have to group them. The ninth question was, probably no remedy in the Materia Medica presents a more valuable pathogenesis in symptoms of the throat, or one that will better repay a careful study. Lachesis, baryta carp, diphtherium, lacananum. You cannot guess and write. If you have not read the remedy, you will just end up in a wrong guess, because all are close running options. Nowadays, a pattern of AIAPGET or UPSC Materia Medica questions are very close running options will be there. Very confusing options will be there. You cannot rule out and guess also. So you have to study it very thoroughly. You have to repeat and revise the ALLEN'S keynote. So here the answer is lacananum. So if you see the lacananum, interesting facts are there. It generally acts best in single dose. Probably no remedy. This is a question here. Probably no remedy in the Materia Medica presents a more valuable pathogenesis in symptoms of the throat, or one that will better repay a careful study. So this kind of things. Again, a note is given where a lot of interesting facts are there. You have to go through this, and you can see the last line. Raising was the first to potentize it. So again, interesting things are given in the lacananum relationship part. The last question, you can see the changes happened in the question palette, in the the details, how many are answered, how many are not visited, etc., and the timer. So these are the things which will help you in this video mock test series. When you're going through the question, again you have to be very familiarized with the screen also. This medicine, the last question, this medicine follows Cuprum metallicum well in whooping cough and cholera. So camphora, arsal, drosera, veratramal, very close running options again. So Cuprum met relationship, you have to see whooping cough and cholera. You cannot guess with the knowledge of remedies indicated for cholera or remedies indicated for whooping cough. So here you can answer, you can see the answer that veratrum album. Veratrum album is the medicine which follows Cuprum metallicum well in whooping cough and cholera. You can see here all the questions are answered and everything is visited, so everything is over. So we will submit and we will see the last questions explanation. Veratrum follows well in whooping cough and cholera. So this is the relationship part of Cuprum med. So you can see again, compare Als and veratrum in cholera and cholera morbus, ipecac, the vegetable analog. So Cuprum med, which is the vegetable analog, if a question comes, ipecac is the answer. So we will get a lot of questions like these in the relationship part. Again, epis and zinc in convulsions from suppressed exanthema. We will compare these also. And complementary of Cuprum med is calcarea. So veratrum follows well in whooping cough and cholera. So if you have missed the previous 5 episodes, go through the previous 5 episodes and you will get a wonderful list of 50 questions which may appear in the upcoming UPSC or your AIAPGET, and also you can go through this video mock test series to make yourself relaxed on the day of examination. And if any suggestions, any comments or any mistakes are there, you can comment in the comment box and it will help us to improve further. So thank you for watching and share this with your friends and subscribe the channel if you have not subscribed. If you like the video, click the like button. Thank you for watching.